G'day guys, welcome back to Flashlight Crazy. Today I'm doing a comparison video between two Nextorch pen lights. On my right here I have the Nextorch K3RT self-defense pen light, and on my left I've got the Nextorch K3T pen light. Let's check them out. Alright, so here they are up close. Let's just have a look at what's in the boxes first. So the K3T comes with your user manual and two AAA batteries, alkaline AAA batteries. The K3RT comes with a user manual as well, a charger. So USB-C to USB-A charging cable and two O-rings. Now, just on that, so that's all the accessories, not much, but with the K3T, you get two alkaline batteries because this is an alkaline 2 AAA torch. But you don't get batteries with this, and the reason is when you unscrew it, it exposes the charging port. So this is a light that has onboard built-in battery. Now I can hear the screams from here. Some of you are not going to be happy about that. And I understand it. You know, if the battery dies, you get a faulty battery or something like that, then this light is rendered useless. So I totally get the convenience of being able to change batteries. However, I also understand that using a light that is fully rechargeable is a bonus because you don't spend any money on batteries. So I understand both arguments. All right, let's get rid of this stuff and see what these guys are made of. Okay, so now to install the batteries, unscrew the head and slot them in, negative side towards the tail, positive side towards the head. Screw the head back on. Good to go. All right, so taking a look at these guys next to each other, obviously the first thing you're going to notice, I'm guessing, is that the K3T is a lot taller. Yeah, I'll do exact measurements, but I'd probably say it's just over a centimeter, maybe 2 centimeters taller. But the other thing I'm noticing here is the deep carry pocket clip in the K3RT versus the non-deep carry pocket clip in the K3T. Now, we have what seems to be a plastic clicky on the K3T, and it is a forward clicky as well. Whereas here, it seems to potentially be aluminium. And we also have a forward clicky over here. Okay, so just upon clicking them, the tail clicky on the K3RT is much nicer, more sensitive and just much nicer to operate. K3T, you really got to push in to make it click. Otherwise, I'm pushing like fairly in here. You've actually got to really click it in. That could be a good thing or a bad thing, to be honest, but I like the sensitivity of the K3RT better. Now, in terms of construction, the K3T has mil-spec Type 3 hard anodized finish, and the K3RT has an aluminium alloy. However, the K3RT, let's get a good close-up of that. The K3RT has 3 nanoceramic beads, which are used for breaking glass, also defending yourself if you needed to. So I feel like this is the EDC version and this is the tactical version of these kind of pen lights, if you will, from Nextorch. Now, taking a look down at the LEDs, so the K3T has a Cree XP-G3 S4 LED, and the K3RT has a Cree XP-G3 LED. But also check out the reflectors. So both of them are textured. Looks to me as though the K3RT is a little more textured than the K3T. And if we look at the bezels, K3RT looks as though it's got a stainless steel bezel. K3T has just your hard anodized or potentially even plastic. But both of them seem to have raised edges for striking, although the K3RT, as I said, has the glass breaking beads, so a little bit more effective. In terms of them in the hand, look, they both feel great, but I actually like the K3RT's length better. So this is them in the hand. Now, you know, each to their own, but my feel is that I prefer to have something that protrudes a little bit longer, just in terms of striking. If I was going to use this to strike, I would want something a little bit longer than this. And especially if you were going to break glass with this, I think you'd probably want something a bit longer so the glass is a bit further away from you than that. Just my opinion, but that's also my observation of how I see these lights. But all in all, the design and the feel in hand is pretty good. I should actually point out that the textured body here does feel a lot better in the hand than the smooth body here. It really does. But I just can't get over this tail clicky. So look, I've got this in my hand. I'm pushing down and it's not turning on. And have a listen at how hard I'm doing it. You've really got to get it in there to fully press it on. I don't like that. Whereas this, very easy to momentary and very easy to constant on. So I'd say the K3RT wins in tail clickies for sure. But I'd say the K3T wins in construction and size. All right, so the K3T with both its batteries and the pocket clip included comes in at 55.76 grams. K3RT comes in at 35.45 grams. Wow, that is so light compared to this. Now look, the other thing that I'm thinking, guys, is that I don't like that this is so light. I know they're trying to make it the lightest, most, pocketable, practical self-defense light there is. But I want my self-defense lights to have a little bit of heft. You know, you don't want a self-defense light to be weighing friggin' 30 grams, do you? I mean, I don't know. It just feels like you know, if you were going to strike someone or break glass with it, it feels like you're going to do that with an actual pen. It just doesn't feel like it's going to do much damage. Whereas something like this, you know, mil spec, type 3 hard anodized finish, heavy, durable, protrudes enough. I mean, I love the size and the feel of this one over the K3RT when it comes to self-defense. In terms of practicality, I think the size and weight is magnificent in the K3RT, but it is marketed as a self-defense pen light. So, you know, you got to ask yourself, should they have maybe, made it a little bit stronger like they did with this one? I'm going to guess yes, but we'll see. All right, so the length of the K3RT comes in at about 124.44 millimeters, and the length of the K3T, 136.63 millimeters. Now, width of the body is 12.91 millimeters in the K3RT, and the head kicks out to 14.31 millimeters. Width of the body, the thickest part is, let's say 14 millimeters, and the head, 16.09 millimeters. So both great specs. I do want to reiterate that the K3T feels more like a self-defense tool than the K3RT. It just does in every way, to be honest. Look, if the glass breaking beads and the tail clicky were put on this light, this would be a perfect pen light self-defense tool. It is strong, tough as nails, long, protrudes well, and it's got a bit of heft. You know, 54 grams, I think it was, opposed to 30-something grams. It just doesn't feel like it's going to do much damage. I know I harp on about it, but it just doesn't. Now, this is interesting. The K3RT has a 1 meter drop resistance rating and a 1 meter water submersibility rating, okay? For a self-defense pen light. Fair enough? Well, the K3T has a 2 meter water submersibility standard and a 1 meter drop resistance. So already you're thinking, why has my self-defense pen light got less water resistance than my everyday pen light? All right, so going over the UI and lumen outputs, K3T we'll start with. This has got two mode groups. This has got the tactical mode group and the law enforcement mode group. On the tactical mode group, all you're going to get is 215 lumens, whether it's momentary or constant on. There it is there. That's going to run for half an hour with two of your provided AAA alkaline batteries. Beam distance is roughly 70 meters. And there is the beam profile on the wall there. So you can see the hot spot blending into the spill thanks to that orange peel textured reflector. There it is there. Now, if you give the head a slight turn, now see there T and D, tactical, and I don't know what D stands for because it's meant to be law enforcement. Maybe it's daily. Now you're going to have different outputs. Okay, so you're going to have low mode here is 8 lumens. You'll get that for 50 hours. That's a great low mode. Off and on quickly, you've got your medium mode, 90 lumens, which you'll get for 4 hours. That's a good one. It's probably the most useful one, I reckon. And then off and on, you've got strobe. That is 215 lumens. Off and on, low, off and on, medium, off and on, strobe. Now, momentary, you can momentary through those ones, and then when you find the one, you click. Now, off on strobe, wait a second, back on, no memory. But off on medium, wait a second, no memory as well. So, daily mode has no memory, guys. If you leave it off in, let's say, medium mode, you're looking around, leaving it on medium mode for a while, you turn it off. If you wait long enough, it's going to return back to your low mode. Click, there's low. So daily mode always starts off in low. That's kind of a good thing because you're never going to be confused as to what mode it's going to come on in. So if you want strobe quickly, you just go 1, 2, strobe, and there you go. Or you just tighten the head and you've got your max output of 215 lumens there. Now the K3RT has one mode only, but it has strobe, low, medium, and high. So there's high, there's medium, there's low, there's strobe. Now, I'm just going to turn it off in strobe. Wait a second. Watch what happens when I turn it back on from strobe after waiting a second. Strobe is still memorized. So this one has full memory. It will remember high. Wait a sec. High. It will remember medium. Wait a sec. And it will remember low. Wait a sec. And there it is. So your low mode is 9 lumens, which you'll get for 11 hours. Strobe is 330 lumens. High is 330 lumens, which you'll get for 45 minutes and roughly reaching about 70 meters, same as the K3T. And medium is 65 lumens, which you'll get for 2 hours. Now, let's just get them both on high and check out the beam profiles. So they're exactly the same distance from the mat. And as I move them away, it looks like the K3T actually no, maybe the K3RT moves into the spill a bit quicker. But it does look like the color temperatures are a bit different. I think the K3RT is more cool white, whereas the K3T is leaning to the neutral, I would say, the neutral side. Now, I'm just going to hold on to them for a sec to see if they start to warm up, because if they do, I'll do a heat test. But if they don't, then there's no point in doing a heat test. And I don't think there's going to be a point doing a heat test, to be honest, because they just don't seem to be warming up anywhere near what would merit a heat test. All right, let's go outside and see how they do at nighttime, or just do them in the front yard so we can see how useful they are in close quarters. And then we'll come back for some final thoughts, prices, and where to buy. See you in a sec. All right, there we have the K3T. Decent amount of light. Does have a centralized hotspot, but it's got great spill. Fantastic spill for its size. Remember, it's just a very small, thin Penlight. Now, that's the lowest mode. Medium. Strobe. Low. Oop, medium. Or low high strobe. And then do the head up again. Just high. All right, let's check out the K3RT. Oh yeah, much nicer. Much more light coming out. Medium. Low. Both very impressive still, but the K3RT, I think's got it covered. Much more spread of light, K3RT. So I guess more useful, really. More spread. That is blinding. That's very impressive strobe for something this size. All right, see ya. Alrighty, so what do we think of the night shots? Well, they both perform really, really well. I don't have an issue with either of them. One thing I will say is that I've said it throughout the video, but the tail clicky on the K3RT is just a pleasure, guys. The tail clicky on the K3T is not a pleasure. I don't enjoy it very much, only because you've really got to push down hard to click that constant on. That's my preference. Some people, or that's my opinion, sorry. Some people might like that because you've really got to be very intentional to click it on as a constant on. So basically you've got kind of like a really great momentary light, which is cool. But I think they can nail it like they have with this one, where it's just a sensitive tail clicky, but you don't have to push in too much further to get your constant on. Now, in terms of price, they're both exactly the same. So $49.50 US. That's from the Nextorch website, which I will link directly into the description. But which one's my preference of light? Well, I gave a hint earlier, but my preference is actually the K3T because of its size, its feel, its makeup of what it's made from, you know, the mil-spec hard anodized aluminium. But there are a couple of things I would have changed to make this the perfect self-defense light. As I said, I would put the tail clicky, the deep carry pocket clip, and the glass breaking beads all on this light. And then that would be my go-to backup self-defense pen light, 100%. It would be, because it makes a great backup light, a great self-defense light, and it's so slimline, you stick it in your pocket, you totally forget about it. So I know what they were trying to do with this light, and I think it's a brilliant light, but as marketed as a self-defense light, I feel like it should be a little bit heavier so that you're not feeling like you're going to hurt yourself when you swing this thing around. It's marketed as a self-defense light, so make it tough like this one, you know, or give it some more heft. That's just my opinion, but that's what I would go for. So if I was picking up a light to be my backup pen light, it would be the K3T. I also really like the fact that you can change the batteries out. So bring a spare pair of batteries and you're not going to lose your run times, because as soon as they die, throw them back in. Whereas once this dies, you need to be close to not only a charging port, like some form of electricity, but you have to have the charger as well. So that can get a little bit annoying. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching. As I said, check out the links below of both these lights. They are both great lights. I think you could morph them into one phenomenal pen light. But until next time, guys, stay cool and stay safe. See ya.